Vegas again.
And you too can follow at home with the Chovy KDA game. If he doesn't die, just add 1 for every assist and kill he picks up. You're dividing by 1, so very easy math to be done there, even if math is the bane of your existence. Well, Griffin have been the bane of Damwon's existence. 8-0 is Griffin in any best of 1 against this team, and we open up now with Griffin on the blue side, and Damwon's best hope, at least based on what we've seen this season, is getting Noguri one of those big counter picks. He had Jason to Victor, a priority matchup, but no ability to hit the team fight, kind of hurt them in the late game. This is the time when the Vladimir on red side was the most likely. This is the time where the Vladimir hits the ban for Griffin on both blue and red sides.
It's a lot of respect to ban it this early and just to say, no, we will not let you have Vladimir at any point in any of our games. And to be honest, after watching their games, I agree. I'm like, yeah, you cannot give this guy Vlad. Feels very flexible, and once you hit the late game, if he gets any kills or any farm going, gets pretty insane. Now, this is interesting. GP going to be banned out here by Griffin.
And you know why there's a first round GP? It's because they don't care about anyone other than Noguri's 5th pick on the red side.
Yeah.
That is the most likely way they lose to Damwon Gaming in game number 2. So they're starting the bans now, and you best believe 2 more counter-pick top laners that Noguri plays are going to hit the ban list in the second round. So a lot of respect being shown. Who else is going to draw a first-round Gangplank ban in 2019? So much left open because they're banning Vlad Gangplank in the first round. Means that Lucian will be preferred. Notice, what other team can you say would prefer Lucian to Urgot, Galio, all of the flex laners left open? Damwon Gaming going to gleefully accept that Urgot and actually pair it with an Ezreal in the first round.
Really quick response. They're not going with the Victor into Lucian or anything weird like that. They want that Ezreal. They felt good about Viper's play, their damage. They want to bring it onto their side this time around.
Sion and Aurelia could be the first round here. Not been the MO so much from Griffin to take their soul lane so early. But I would love to see Chovy on the Aurelia. Don't know how much Aurelia we'll see when patch 9.2 hits live. But they're not going to be going for Aurelia now, and probably going to be banned by either blue or red team in the second round. Chovy hovering over Tarzan's jungle pick. Maybe more redemption Olaf in game number 2.
Yeah, I mean, if you build in game 1 and you have, you know, that extra gold from the first blood, if you can pull off something similar, why not do it in game 2? Although this time they're going up against a Nocturne, so might be a little bit harder to see things if he is in position. But either way, we'll have to wait and see. Now, what are the extra bans going to be out of Griffin? You were expecting more towards the top lane. I suppose Noguri could play the Urgot, but
you're fine with that.
Wait.
I think you're fine with that because that means that the top laner is much less likely to be any sort of damage threat in the late game. It's largely been Showmaker on Urgot Lissandra Galio duty, kind of making his champion pool smaller. If Showmaker had been popping off on the other carry picks, and there'll be more impetus to predict that. We'll see what Griffin's read is. Again, they have the best read on Damwon of any team we've seen so far, given their 8-0 history against them. And for now, at least, they see Nocturne. They don't want the combo to be as clean in terms of chess pieces around the Nocturne. They will actually throw out a Galio ban to the side of Damwon game.
And how about a Fiddlesticks ban when you're playing up against Lahens and you don't want to deal with another annoying support? Take away that and the Braum. It's not very common we see Fiddlesticks here.
Would this be an Ornn support game for Griffin? Because Olaf always loved being comboed with Ornn top, just so that he had the Ornn Horn to mask his engage with his ultimate. Rise ban, another one of Noguri's favorite top laners. Gragas going to be locked in here. That's a bit of a flex on the side of Damwon Gaming. Could be support, could be jungle. Actually, it won't be jungle. They already have a Nocturne, so we'll throw that one out the window.
Nocturne mid lane.
So it's a blind Gragas support in this particular case. That's interesting. What does that mean for Griffin? Because it's a bit more of a risky duo lane now, the Ezreal Gragas. A lot of options available here. We could see a crazy Ornn, but we're not going to. It's just going to be Tahm Kench, safety first coming through from Griffin.
Now the final pick for them. could be into this top lane if Chovy hops onto the Scion. What is Sword thinking? Or maybe what is Chovy thinking as a blind pick into what could be the Urgot?
Oh, if he does this, we could see a Kali last pick from Damwon Gaming. He likes it into Zoe. Okay, so I mean Katarina actually as a last pick into Zoe. This would be a time for Showmaker to bring out that Predator Katarina. The Echo is a matchup we've seen win, Lava and BDD. BDD showing how good this matchup can be because you can just W onto where the ultimate is used by Zoe. Instead, they go for something a bit more linear. It's actually going to be the Syndra. So no sign of the Katarina. That was the one I was hoping for, but maybe Showmaker not feeling it, and it's going to end up Syndra as the final pick to potentially try to shut down Chovy.
Showmaker strikes me as a Syndra player as well. Not 100% sure. I haven't checked his solo queue in a bit, but definitely something we don't see very often. So I'm excited to see if he can make this work. Zoe can be predictable in terms of her portal jump, so you can make that stun into combo work if you are playing the Syndra. And just a good pick in general against pretty much anything is the Syndra. So I like the pickup there for Showmaker. We'll see if he can pilot that to a victory this time around. Damwon looking for it in their 9th best of 1 up against Griffin. They've lost 8 in a row. Maybe 9th time is the charm.
All about the pick power. If the stun hits while the paranoia is in the air, or even just the combo of ults, the unleashed power and also the Urgot ultimate, the Fear Beyond Death, much more likely to arm with so much single target burst coming through from the Syndra. But my worry, Valdez, is that Olaf can just run at Syndra for a lot of the game, and especially if the Olaf is ahead, then the Syndra's positioning is going to be oh so tricky. Scion rolls in as well, and that means that Syndra might only have tanks as potential ult targets, and that's not what you're looking for with the last pick Syndra. Return to the Olaf, chance of the Black Cleaver, chance of the redemption. Will it be old, will it be new? Damwon Gaming are hoping for the new because the old against Griffin is a loss.
Will we see that redemption here in Game 2? Let's find out now. Here we go. Griffin this time on the blue side. Chovy picking up another one of his big picks. We saw this in the summer season a lot. 2018, the Zoe coming out here. Used to be even stronger. Went through a whole ringer of multiple different nerfs. Still strong enough. As Chovy will bring it here into the mid lane.
Kind of a shift back of his champion pool because was a bit of a role player, it felt. A slave to the Zoe Gallios in 2018, but talked about in the offseason wanting to bring more pressure onto himself, more solo carry potential on champions like Aurelia. And Casper Cup showed us the Aurelia was in order. His Akali has been so scary. Banned in this game by Damwon Gaming.
Ooh, nice. Takes out the ward.
Attack speed, feels pretty good for the Olaf at level 1.
They place another ward, but first ward victory goes to Tarzan. Not the only victory he's had so far. Picked up another one in the hearts of many after building redemption onto Olaf. And now he's soloing down the blue.
Viper and Lehens haven't expended any mana or health, so it should be pretty clear to Damwon that it's a topside Olaf start. Him clearing the ward was a good sign that was happening. Level 1, I guess a couple of Qs and a Comet proc have put Chovy already into his first chug of the Corrupting Potion.
Press the attack up against that Gragas, who was essentially blind picked into the support role. They banned out Braum and Fiddle and then picked Gragas 4th. So they had a couple of supports they were scared about, and then pick up that Gragas support, which you really do not see too often.
Definitely not with any sort of priority, I agree, Valdez. So not really sure why that is. I guess they wanted more engaged to combo with the Nocturne. But peculiar. We'll see what value it gets in this game. Hoyt's a player we don't talk about a lot, but a player who was top 5 for the last 3 months in solo queue, so mechanics certainly on point. Is Alistair very impressive in the past?
That's something I always love to do in solo queue. If you have this really hard pushing bot lane, you just roam to the second scuttle. You know that your jungle went to the top side. You could pressure the enemy jungle if he happens to be there. Nocturne generally not going to get in there too hard onto the scuttles, but this time around they just pick up some extra CS and gold to their AD carry and Viper, so not a bad pick. They deny it away from Canyon as well.
The way I look at these drafts is a battle of front lines. Not often the case in the current meta, as tanks can be in and out, but to me it's a lot about Sion and Olaf diving in and trying to zone or threaten Syndra and Ezreal, and pretty much the reverse story with large, I guess, Gragas Nocturne, but the Urgot if he can get there as well. If Chovy and Viper can hit the same target, a lot of kill pressure there. Syndra and Ezreal can hit the same target, a lot of kill pressure there. But I would wager that Showmaker and Nuclear will find it harder to push damage onto the backline outside of that Ezreal ultimate. I feel it means to me the reliability might be there more for Griffin. Also with the fact that their front line, Olaf and Sion, very difficult to stop between the unstoppable Onslaught and the Relentless, and the Ragnarok as well. Relentless Pursue and Ragnarok on the same team.
Yeah. So on the bottom side, why the Lucian gets banned out a lot in solo queue and occasionally here in professional play can be so annoying to deal with, especially for melee jungle. Showmaker here has the Predator Olaf. They're going to force that flash. Is pushed away, but the flash on in into Ignite, and it looks like Showmaker is going to go down to the Zoe first blood. Canyon, though, trying to fight back here. Chovy picks up the second flash and flashes back in for the double kill. The outplay gets him too, as Chovy shows up big time.
Perfect timing for Tarzan to come in with Predator. Syndra too far down the lane. Flashing into Tarzan's not going to be enough against Ignite onto the Zoe. The second kill was a toss-up, though. It could have gone either way. But flashing away defensively, and like you say, re-engaging at the end does it for Chovy. This is what happens early. No ultimate on the side of Showmaker to just ult the Olaf and stop his onslaught. Get the first kill, and Canyon does some great brawling at the end. Takes down Tarzan. But one flash defensively, the second one offensively. The more sparkles enough to take down the Nocturne.
Gotta love that. And also, 2 Dark Seals picked up here for Zoe, as he's not fooling around this time. Carried game number 1, got super fed on his Akali. Looking to do the same this time on the Zoe. Syndra counter pick into it, not going to work out this time up against that Olaf Predator gank that he had so much trouble against. Really nice timing there too. It was right before Showmaker wanted to back, and he was low on health and mana, had used all of his potions, all that kind of thing. It was just the perfect gank, the perfect storm to get Chovy ahead.
Definitely the time in the laning phase, the first 5 minutes of the game, where there was kill pressure, because for a lot of the rest of the game, there was not, especially with no Predator available. Onto Tarzan previously. Double Dark Seal is just the most combat power you can get for 700 gold, so I'm sure it's a gold timing thing here. Otherwise, one of those Dark Seals would likely be a Doran's Ring. Seeing Chovy walk up. He's got double buffs and an item lead, so he's feeling pretty spry in the mid lane.
You can see how the Syndra can kind of predict where the Zoe's going to hop forward, so you can get some free damage as long as you're not getting hit by paddle stars, in which case, absolutely not free.
You know what's a bit free, though, is to talk about the fact that Chovy didn't go Cleanse or Barrier, and with no Summoner and the Nocturne Paranoia up, pretty hard to outplay a Nocturne dive and any Syndra damage topside.
Blocks that ultimate sword, getting ignited down. Looks like the ultimate of Nuguri, though, is going to time out. Maybe used it a little bit early there. Wanted to secure the kill, but didn't have enough follow-up damage. We didn't mention it, but right after the double kill in the mid lane, sword just barely got away from the kill from Nuguri. Nuguri went back home and picked up a Ko, just to say, I wish I was playing something more aggressive, but I'm still going to dominate lane on an Urgot.
We're seeing it quite a lot this second by Cull coming in just to, like you say, dominate the mid-game gold lead a bit harder. First item rush onto the Urgot. Not as important, you'd love a Black Cleaver, but not in as much of a rush these days to finish that item. So good call out there on that one. Still have to be a bit wary if you're Chovy, like we mentioned though, as Nocturne's Paranoia is for sure available.
And he is nearby, looking for that. Oh, he hits it, and now with no cleanse, no flash, here we go. Canyon trying to get on in, but he's being bursted down. The fear goes through, but Canyon, unfortunately, is just going to be picked away. Tarzan healed to safety as another kill goes the way of Griffin.
And I think that Canyon, once again, in a bit of a funk against Tarzan. I understand popping the ult defensively, but he actually committed to it, and Showmaker seemed surprised. He did not seem like he was ready to push any damage on either member of Griffin. That means the Nocturne's first ult is basically offered in tribute to the side of Griffin, and Chovy gets to continue on his merry ways. Watch the replay of this play. Again, popping Paranoia here is fine, but he dives in, and Showmaker can only scatter the weak and auto attack. He offers nothing else in the skirmish. The rich get richer when it comes to the mid-jungle duo of Griffin.
It's definitely a fantastic, feels-good moment, and I think the, it's kind of interesting. I think our, on the bottom side here, our thing is bugged. Chovy got an assist, and then he's showing no stacks on his Dark Seal, so.
I mean, it's listing as no assist, so not sure about that particular one.
Maybe he didn't attack the Nocturne. That seems kind of impossible.
I guess it's possible.
Maybe he was just feared and was running away. Wouldn't the more sparkles be doing damage? I don't know. Maybe it's not bug. We'll give it the benefit of the doubt for now and update you guys in a bit.
Viper just hard pushing in the bot lane. We saw Canyon around, but it must have been for a counter gank with no ultimate available. Sion hoping that he can get enough items, stop being a threat of solo kill to Nogari. And look, it's redemption.
It's back.
And you know what? It's being built by Olaf as well.
Because why not? Of course, that's what you do on Olaf.
Guys are joining us late, hearing about the Olaf with redemption being the thing. A couple of reasons that might give us an inkling to it. Genius Hunter means that cooldown reduction was in full display. Basically every skirmish, the redemption was going off from the Olaf. It's also that Olaf, of all junglers, has the least impetus to finish his Cinderhulk. Tank junglers who want a bit of extra clearing speed want to finish the Cinderhulk, and then obviously later in the game, the percentage buff on the health feels good. But a scaling jungle item with a champion that already has super fast clear, not so important. So decides against Black Cleaver, goes redemption for a bit more teamfight utility. Speaking of fights,
he has his flash, but he has that ultimate blocked. Still has a stopwatch, though. They're going to come in and try to kill him. There it goes. Nuggery able to pick it up, and here comes Tarzan and Zombie Scion looking for some kills.
For more.
Sword going to get one. Here's Showmaker to make his way up first. But a nice one-for-one trade as Tarzan is able to respond.
Not sure why Gragas on the back time. They're losing a lot of health on this bot lane turret at the same time. One of the few times where Zombie Scion's actually a pretty formidable foe. When the Olaf is there perma-slowing next to him. They get another summoner out of it. Still ahead in kills, and the gold lead is bigger than it ever was in game number 1. 2,700 gold. Gonna watch the replay here. It's just as the ult comes up. Redemption not actually going to get a heal in here. Could have actually stasised and then probably got the redemption heal after the stasis, but at the end of it, Sword, his death not in vain, able to chase in and get the answering kill on Nogger.
Follow up here as Tarzan has seemingly started the Rift Herald and doesn't seem scared. Has to use his own stopwatch, but they got to be careful. Big knockup, though, onto the Nocturne, and they're just going to take him out as Chovy does get the big pick there. Nicely done by Sword to help him. He's just going to flash the wall as now Hoyt has made his way in here first. Will they continue up? There's the flash on in. No cask available. Just going to hit the Tom Kent away, but Chovy somehow picks up another kill, and the head flashes for the Devour and saves the Scion. It's an absolute rout over here at the Rift Herald as Sword survives, everyone survives, and Griffin pick up 3 kills.
Forgive the pun, but there seems to be no redemption for Dumb One Gaming against Griffin. All they want is that single win, Valdez. They don't want there to be a perfect season for Griffin, and they want to have taken them down at any point. But the skirmish healing and damage the redemption provides actually is really big in that skirmish again. It's almost off cooldown. Just look at it. He's got so many assists that Ingenious Hunter is way up there in terms of stacks. We watch the replay. It begins with Tarzan being out of the fight. Chovy has to flash defensively. because Gragas is the first one there. In every way, Dumb1 should have this team fight. They get all their members impacting it so early, and yet, from the redemption onwards, Griffin take them down.
Trying desperately to kill Sword, but they can't. Sword not quite able to hit that, but the redemption you were talking about heals all three of them, keeps Sword alive, and Lahenge gets there.
Just think about the redemption here. It's what, maybe an 800 health swing? 300-400 damage onto the enemy, similar amount of healing to the side of Griffin. That's all you need to have a perfect team fight and for no one to go down. It really was a really big reason they win that particular skirmish. It's back up as Sion is getting camped by now Hoyt and Nuggery.
And Canyon and Nuclear. No, they're just, you know, swapping here, but not having fun in the bottom lane, it seems, as Viper on Lucian is up 40 CS. Just Viper things. Tarzan taking a Cloud Drake will make them all faster. And it wasn't a bug. The Zoe actually did not get any assist on the Nocturne kill, so now has 7 stacks on both Dank Seals, as he has picked up 5-0 and 1. Means that Tovi's now at 73 KDA currently.
I don't think the redemption jungle meta will
74,
come in
74.
as a more kind of thought-provoking point. Not many champions delete jungle camps and also don't need any of the Cinderhulk stats in the early game like Olaf. Again, he was the one jungle going just straight into Black Cleaver. I guess the only other example is a Shaco going into damage items instead of finishing the jungle, and Chan is Griffin up top.
He hits it too. You are so dead as there it goes. 6th kill goes over to Tovi, picks up another one, and that, guys, might be the double nail in the coffin as Tovi says, hey guys, you banned my Akali. Do you remember Zoe? She's back.
Chovy brings back an oldie, and we were only just getting to the point where we can start banning his new champions. Shame that he plays his old champions just as well. 10 stacks on the Dark Seal meant that he already could delete the Ezreal, and, you know, probably going to come back with a bit more damage in the item build to ensure that stays this way the entire game.
7-0-1. Having a ball right now as there are just games where players on Griffin just look like they're smurfing. I mean, you see the Fiddle, you see the Evelyn on Tarzan. That was the big one for me. It's like, yeah, just another solo queue game. No, this is Dom1 Gaming. They were undefeated before today.
Just ahead of the play, Valdez. The trouble bubble hits, and then he's dead. Did the Q even register? Did Tom Kent even get an assist? I don't know. It sounded like it did, but I'm not sure. Cleaning up the second one, and just, especially when it comes to KDA, the rich get richer. I'm looking forward to the featured matchup in the SKT series because it's looking like we might have an 80 KDA coming through from Chovy.
I mean, the dream is 100, right? You want to be over 100, and then you can say you're kind of a baller. I'd say he's already kind of a baller here at nearly 80.
I would wager no professional player has ever had a KDA of 100 because that's a lot of time to get that many kills and assists.
Yeah.
That's going to take 7-8 games minimum, right? If you're popping off every game and crushing falls, it seems very unlikely to go that long with that much of a KDA, but add 8 to the number. Like you say,
76.
He's getting close.
No Medjais, I'm kind of disappointed. Sold one of his Dank Seals, now it's just a Dark Seal.
I guess he went Oblivion Orb and Merc Tread, so doesn't have double Magic Pen to go for the Medjais as early.
Yeah.
A bit of restraint being shown, rare thing from Chovy. We zoom out. Sword, for all his struggles in lane, can still run at the enemy and dive into the Syndra, who, you know, probably isn't killing anyone this game. She's only going to get to press her buttons onto Sion. Pushing through mid lane, and Viper's turret diving, because why not?
Yeah, you know, doesn't look like Dom1 have any legs to stand on here.
They just don't have any gold, Valdez. Unlike game number 1, we're close to 10,000, and it's 17 minutes into the game.
His sword. He's like, guys, let's go for the dive. I got this. Backs away, but probably could have gone for it. Same build here from Tarzan again, Hex Drinker as well. Still dealing with the Syndra frontline ultimate to his face, so he wants to make sure he can survive that. The Redemption stands strong. Will pick up 2 victories in a row here in the LCK.
And ever since Kesper Cup, in all their best of 3s and best of 5s, there's been at least one game in every series where Griffin have looked as a team like they're smurfing. There's been individual games where they struggled. First game against Afrika, miraculous team fight to get behind their re-debut after the long break around Worlds. First game against Hanwha Life. Should have been a Hanwha Life victory, but weren't able to pick it up. But there's always the game twos where they back it up and have games like this.
Canyon is not in range. Will he even go for it? No. It looks like just another dead member of Damwon. As Nuguri is so sad, man. There have been so many skirmishes against Sword where he's in the lead, he's about to kill him, and then someone on Griffin comes and saves his life to make it at least a 1-for-1. Jovi's just a sniper, so it shouldn't be a surprise to anyone. He was looking for the kill there too. Might as well.
And I'm going to be bold and say I think Noguri's sadness started a bit earlier than level 1, because even in pick and ban, last time Damwon played Griffin, third game of the Kesper Cup semifinal, Noguri died 10 times on Urgot in 30 minutes. He was basically chain feeding, not from mistakes, but from in lane getting answered. Then he tried to come and help his mid lane, got killed. He was dying every half second. And speaking of deaths,
well, out of range, as Jovi is not going to go for it this time around. Had his flash, so surprised he didn't go for the kill. But, yeah, he's just showing off his stuff, you know?
I think it's turned into a bit of a exhibition match for Griffin to show off their stuff. Item leads in every role. Sword seems to be the only person who's always suffering when we change over to his lane. But he's building for team. He wants a Warmogs and the ability to engage, and he will have that very soon. Mountain Drake goes the way of Griffin to give them a bit more Baron threat. It's a visual bug. We're used to it now, Valdez.
We're just having a bit of fun here in game 2.
I guess Chovy wanted to check the brush there. Curious. They're very worried.
Yeah.
I wonder who would be there. Who would it be? It wouldn't be Nocturne. Strange, but safety first. Probably good mechanics to have. The thing we'll say about that,
He's practicing, you know.
But let's talk about that play. In a different game, maybe you actually stuff a turret dive onto Zoe. Now, this game, where you're a million gold ahead, it doesn't matter. But if you develop bad habits in games where you're winning by a lot, you might actually play like that in games where you're losing. So it's a lot of thought into what could just be a pretty inconspicuous thing. But I don't mind players always playing like the game is on the line.
Yeah, I can definitely imagine VOD reviews where Griffin stomp a team 2-0 and CV Max is like, you didn't check the bush? Are you serious? You
especially CV Max, the guy that said that his players are gladiators in the Coliseum, and you know, he's always very severe with his analogies. And what did he talk about, holding a bomb and stuff like that? We're not actually making things up. There's an Invent Global
He's
interview.
an intense guy, you know?
He is, and so maybe Chovy just doesn't want to get any sort of, you know, any sort of negative feedback, whether it's of the physical or verbal variety.
Exactly.
After the game.
Playing it safe in more than one way, in the game and out of the game. Because he probably knows he'd be criticized for something, even when he goes 7-0-2 Zoe.
No coach other than Koma kind of had that air about him, the air of, I don't care what your scoreline was, don't make this mistake.
You know, honestly, well, that's Zoe right now. I think it's a good kind of personality trait for a coach to have. Seems kind of harsh, but especially in traditional sports, you see that a lot. Experienced it a lot, and definitely seems effective in one way.
They're able to chase Damwon out of their own jungle. How many jungle camps would you say are Damwon's this game? Maybe Wolves is the only one we could suggest. Every other one seems to be a Griffin camp.
They have their little corner over there with 2 wards, and that's it. No other wards on the map currently.
Griffin don't want to make a Baron start. Probably the only way the game can change is a paranoia. And remember that you can just go for a scrying, a blue trinket, and then ult in. And speaking of the paranoia,
sad Scion bowling tonight. And can he get out of this one as Redemption and Tom Kent and the double knock-up stun come in? Sword is sad, but he has very friendly teammates that make him not sad anymore and save him.
Olaf getting assists across the map with his orbital Niuka Redemption. Who needs to play jungle Karthus? Get on this level, Spirit. Tarzan says in this game, inhibitor line finally going to be broken, and Viper can't even be bothered being there.
Jovi's goal, he just wants to break 80 KDA today. That's the goal for tonight for Zoe. I believe he should be at around 78, is my guess. Maybe 79 at this point. Yes, 79. So we're 1 kill or assist away here for Jovi to break 80 KDA after this series.
Wonder if we can have a total of some of the bounties that people have had over the course of the season. I feel like the richest man in the league. It's likely to be someone like Tarzan or Chovy. Watching the replay here, redemption means that Sword is not going to die. And you know what? Zoe does the rest.
Is Redemption OP?
Redemption Olaf, new OP.
Questions to be answered. Will Viper die? Another one here. He's trying to get away. Hoyt doesn't want to make that a reality as he, well, misses his body slam.
How does no one die, ever?
Sword on the Scion is just too fancy with his feet. Makes it away.
Great backing up there. Scion strong enough to first build space, then speed way away. Already I'm seeing the YouTube clickbait videos of, you won't believe what this Olaf build can do.
Yeah.
It's redemption, and it's a lot of healing.
Do you feel like it's a win more from ahead kind of item?
No, because it's so cheap that you get it so early that as long as you're getting Ingenious Hunter, you got it up so often that I actually, again, good reasons for it. You have it much quicker. It's a really weird equation, though, because Kindle Gem is great for Olaf, and Phage is great for Olaf. And yes, that's all you have for the same amount of gold as Redemption. But Redemption does a lot in skirmishes, so if it's 2v2s and 3v3s, the health swing that it provides can be so big. It's kind of like a mini Karthus ult, mini Soraka ult at one. So hard to gauge. I think in solo queue, stick with the Black Cleaver if you are playing Olaf at home, as Griffin would like a Baron buff and to go home as soon as possible.
Definitely don't try this at home unless you're 5-man flex queuing or something like that. As Baron looks very tasty for Griffin. They want a little bit more. They want to end this game.
Paranoia.
Looking to get some vision to start as Sword just is going to delete Hoyt with the help of Chovy here. And now it's Nuggery's turn as he goes legendary once again. Chovy just picking up all the kills, making another one onto the Syndra. As everybody's dying in the jungle, they dared to step foot in Griffin's jungle, and they paid the price.
And that's going to be the Abyssal Voyage bot lane. Instead of a Baron start, maybe they want some Nexus turrets here to Viper and Lehans.
At this point, feels like anything is possible as Griffin want to come in here and bite off that Nexus turret and rotate into the mid lane. But Tarzan, meanwhile, just doing his own thing. He can always redemption from downtown. Doesn't seem to mind it. As down will go the inhibitor turret, make that a second one up on the top side. Griffin don't seem to need the Baron. They're just way too far ahead, guys. As Chovy now 14 kills and assists in total in this game.
Kind of the weird thing, and the position I'm at, I want to talk about Valdez, is the last time we had a moment like this, we had it to some degree in 2018 Sprig, but the last time it really felt like this was 2015 summer. Again, that was when SK Telecom T1 with Marin in the top lane. Bless his heart, did retire, shout out to Marin. Went 17-1. And as a caster, that was my first LCK split, so I had to contend with everyone hating me for not being Monty, but it was a tough time.
Dark times, as same can be said here.
He's dead.
For,
it doesn't matter.
him.
My story's more interesting. Is the job I had then, when every time SKT played, because everyone wants to watch SKT, they're the team that's dominating, it was trying to actually give them a foil. Because when you're beating everyone, it's very hard to watch this match, it's going to be awesome. It's like, well, watch this match, they're going to win 2-0. It feels like Griffin might be the first team since then, 4 years later, where every time we talk about other teams, things like this happen.
You see that Viper just flashes to safety and is now being body blocked by the Tomcats. He's still alive!
Yep.
What the hell is going on? Finally, he goes down. Lehans not able to devour a second time on this patch.
Chovy's here.
Everybody's going to die. As, yep, that's all I got. Double kill here for Olaf. And they're going for the victory. Griffin, not very surprisingly, take out another opposing team 2-0.
Every good hero needs a villain. Superman got way more exciting when Kryptonite came in. What is Griffin's Kryptonite? Because we've confirmed it's not Dumb One Gaming.
It's not going to be Dom 1. The question is, will it be SKT? One of the big matchups we will have coming next week. Make sure you guys are tuning in for that one as this